Wellnomics WorkPace, your electronic health and safety assistant, helping computer users achieve a healthy balance in their computer use. WorkPace runs on each of your staff's devices, and the software provides ergonomics training, breaks and exercise reminders, plus workload feedback tailored to each user's needs. Let's have a look at the system. On the screen here we can see the Wellnomics WorkPace dashboard, as well as the status panel and the feedback icons in the tray below. We can see the WorkPace icon, which gives the end user information about when their next breaks are due, the break compliance icon, and we can also see the speed and intensity icon. These can remain in the system tray here below at all times unless the user specifically removes them. The feedback icon is easy to read with a smiley face for a happy system, which later turns into a yellow and finally a red face. And the feedback icons for the speed and intensity range between 1 to 10, with 1 being low and obviously 10 being the highest. If we have a look at the Wellnomics WorkPace dashboard, from here you can choose whether you see data based on your last 7 days or your last month. And based on the above choice, we can see computer use spread over the 40 hours, as well as mouse use. The reason for singling out mouse use is that mouse use is scientifically proven to increase the risk of repetitive strain injury, much more so than keyboard use. We can also see, based on this setting here, the overall micropause compliance and WorkPace break compliance. From the screen, we can also adjust our settings. The settings that an end user sees are predetermined by the package that is installed by an organisation. WorkPace works with our clients to ensure that only settings that you wish for your staff, employees and workers to see are available to them. They won't see anything greyed out. Simply any settings that are unavailable to them to choose from will not be there. We can also see the Wellnomics status panel. As you can see, the status panel is always on top of any other systems open. The reason for this is to give constant feedback to the user. They can, of course, close out of the status panel, but we highly recommend keeping it in an area where it won't cause too much distraction. On the status panel, we can see feedback as to what our break compliance and speed intensity is like, but we can also see when our next breaks are due. You'll see that the micropause for this user is due in about 7.5 minutes, and that is 7.5 minutes of constant computer use. So as you can see, I'm moving my mouse here to simulate computer use, and the status panel is counting down. If I stop, a blue bar will count down to see whether my break is long enough, the natural break that I've taken is long enough to be classed as a micropause, and it will reset the timer. And as you can see, that timer has paused and is no longer counting down the end user for a break. As soon as the end user interacts with their machine again, then the counters will burst back into life. When a micropause does come up, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's small, it doesn't interfere too much with the user, and it's over quite quickly. What we're trying to do through training that the end user will see at the beginning of opening their WorkPace product is to advise them to use the micropause as an opportunity to look away from the screen, drop their arms to the sides and get the blood circling back into their extremities. It's scientifically proven that the micropause is by far the most important break a user can take, so we strongly recommend that this feature is enabled for all users. The second break that the system will recommend for is what we call a WorkPace break or a stretch break. And for this user, the next break is due in just under 22 minutes. And that is again 22 minutes of computer use. Obviously this user has been working for some time, as the breaks normally are scheduled for approximately every 50 to 60 minutes of continuous computer use. And the reason for these breaks is to get the end user out of their chair at least once every hour. When a break comes up, this is what it'll look like. The breaks are easy to follow, with different ethnicities, animation showing you where you should feel the stretch when you're doing the break, as you can see on screen. And each break will include a series of short stretches for the user to do. If the user doesn't want to stretch an exercise at their desk, they can simply click off the animation, but their break will still count down. Again, through the training that they would have seen at the beginning of opening their WorkPace product, we recommend that they use the WorkPace break as an alternate work opportunity. Take a phone call, standing up, go to the furthest away rubbish bin, go to a photocopier, go and see a colleague, rather than sending them an email. From an end user's perspective, that's mostly what the end user will need to see. There are, of course, other options such as putting WorkPace on standby via the button above. That can be used if you're perhaps presenting a WebEx or similar video conference and you don't want the breaks to be shown on screen. WorkPace will automatically detect if you're using PowerPoint in presentation mode and will put itself into standby in that case. From the dashboard, we can also go to the advanced settings panel where the end user can tailor the settings to their needs. So for example, the micropause settings we can see here are enabled, what the interval is, what the duration is, and what the enforcement level is. Again, the only options available to them will be those agreed with the client who purchases the software for their staff. That's it for today's quick presentation and tour of WorkPace. We hope that you all download a trial from our website. Just go to www.wellnomics.com, and from there you can download a free trial or get in touch with me direct, anna@wellnomics.com, and I will help you with any of your needs. Thanks for your time and have a great day.